Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back. I'm Ruth Ann.
I'm Chris.
And we all Geek Chic Promotions. And we're back live with Nerd Rage. We were just discussing it. It's been like 3 weeks.
Yep.
So, hi, we're back. Hello. Let's cheers to everyone. Cheers to you. Cheers to you, beautiful lady.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome, welcome. All right, we're going to share this about before we start talking about the trailers. As well as Mandalorian. So we're not going to be talking about this week's Mandalorian episode number 5. We're going to talk about the week before. So hopefully that gives you guys some more time so we're not totally spoiling anything for anybody.
Yeah.
I want to say it out of the gate. I'm just loving the lone wolf and cub like vibe. This whole entire thing. Like every episode I'm like, yes, give me more of this. All right, let me share this around.
I thought yesterday's new episode was the weakest one, to be honest.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting. So we'll talk about it a little bit. We won't spoil anything, but
Yeah,
it definitely
I'm not gonna
felt
spoil
like
anything.
they definitely saved money on that episode.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff like they wouldn't even show Baby Yoda's face at all because you're like they didn't want to put the money in for a CGI.
They showed it. Yeah, they showed
A
it.
little, but not
Like,
as often.
closed when
Yeah.
when it was sleeping. It
Yeah.
was like, they
But there
showed
was
it,
that
but-
almost that whole scene that you just saw the back of his head. He was like, "Huh, are
Yeah.
you okay? Yeah, he's fine."
Yeah.
All right, let me.
The premise of it, if you read the description for the Mandalorian, is basically that the Mandalorian helps out a novice bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And that's how that goes. And the novice bounty hunter is okay. Weirdly, I looked at who played him because I was like, why does he look so familiar to me? But yet I can't.
Yeah, why
place him.
does he?
He is. Oh, now I can't. Now I'm blanking. Of course, on the
Great.
name. But it's,
Now the internet is watching us. We don't have these answers.
I feel like it's the son of that dude who was just in The Irishman. Hold on.
Anyway. But yeah,
I'm
we
googling it really quick.
All right, well, you Google that. I'll share it one more place, and then we'll actually start with talking about the trailers and end on the rage that I have towards people that raged at the 4th episode of Mandalorian because they're being dumb.
They're being dumb.
Being dumb.
All right, so Jake Cannavale. Okay.
Okay, so how do we?
Okay, so. Okay, he's an actor and writer known for Nurse Jackie.
I have not watched that show.
Born in '95.
But
is he?
Oh God, he's so young.
I know.
He's 24.
Like, what else? I feel like I've seen. That's it. He's got to be the son of Bobby Cannavale. I don't know.
On what show?
That guy. You know who I'm talking about? He's like literally on every single gangster movie. He's married to Rose Byrne.
Oh, like in real life,
In
his
real life.
child.
Yes, in real life,
and
his
that's why
child,
he looks
yes.
so familiar.
Yes.
Copy. That's what I was
And
like,
he does.
You lost
He
me
does
there
look
for a
familiar.
second, but we're back.
Because I was like, wait a minute, I know him. And yes, his children, Jake Cannavale, yeah. So he was not a great actor in this episode. I just want to put that out there. So clearly he's trying to follow in his father's footsteps, and I think he's a little rusty.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon, good to see you. He made a joke about us having all the answers all the time because we never do. Because the only problem is that we use Google for everything, and all of our devices are being used for this.
But also, there's a mechanic in there because this whole thing takes place on Tatooine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's on Tatooine.
I love it. We're not going to spoil this week's episode, but
it
we're
doesn't
going
matter.
into it.
It's not a spoiler. None of it's a spoiler.
It's super great to see the old setback.
Yeah, so
Put it
it's
that way.
so he needs just repairs on his ship. That's essentially how he gets to this planet, Tatooine. And the mechanic that is fixing it is Amy Sedaris.
Yeah.
Which is like, I was like looking at her like, I can't tell how I feel about this chick because on one hand I was like, she's not really acting that well. On the other hand, I'm like, do I know her? You know how you get that like weird feeling of like, what? But yeah, Amy Sedaris, which was a weird choice, but also okay.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know. So anyway, let's talk about the real issue at hand here.
The real issue at hand here is that we were doing
The
so
issue
well.
from the episode before.
Yes, episode 4 of Mandalorian. So, here's the issue. We were doing so well, nerds. You were doing so well. None of us were fighting or arguing about Mandalorian. Like, we had 3 full episodes of just all the Star Wars fans just loving it and loving life. But then, the incel asshole nerds had to get mad at the 4th episode because, God forbid, there's 2 women in it that can fight. That's literally it. That's literally the entire reason they're mad. Is like, oh, it's feminist bullshit.
Where did you hear about this? Because I did not even
I
know
saw
this was happening.
I saw a bunch of like Twitter feeds and articles.
I'm not on Twitter. I mean, I am, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't spend a lot of time on there. Because that.
I just don't. It's like we're doing so well. Sup, Steve? Good to see you, buddy. I just can we like it wasn't a feminist episode. It just happened to be that the woman fighter. Why am I blanking on the type of mercenary she was?
Are you talking about like Carino?
Yeah, what's her face? Yeah,
Kira Carino.
Yeah, she was a fantastic mercenary, badass.
She doesn't act well, but damn does she do good fight scenes.
Woo!
Yeah, she's really good.
It was
at that.
so awesome.
I mean,
and like for a second you're like, dag, if the Mandalorian didn't have all of his weapons and his armor, she would have fucked him up.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like the best ending of that scene ever was like, want some soup? Unfortunately, as this one will also rage about the Mandalorian, there is the problem. It's just too much Baby Yoda memes. To me, it's just it's the T one that's just too much.
Because you apparently watched it super early because you were in Oklahoma at the time. Because when I got up and literally hadn't now I watch it before I go to work, so I watch it at like
I actually have an alarm set for when it actually drops. And if I wake up, I wake up. If not, I'll watch it at 6.
So
it's fine.
I'm usually up at 7. So by 7:38, we're watching it, and I leave for work at 9. And so literally you had already posted about it, and the first comment was want some soup, and I was like, what the fuck, it's 7 a.m. and people are already fucking talking about this stuff and saying things about it. Now you guys might not think it's a spoiler, but it kind of was, because
I should have hidden that comment. I thought about hiding. I was like, well, nobody's gonna go through the comments.
It's the one that appears up. It's not going through. It's just it appears.
I should have hidden it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things.
Because I try really hard not to I just said,
well, then don't
say it, don't say it.
Don't
Baby
post.
Yoda is
Don't post
adorable.
at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Don't post. You're the problem. Everyone else is freaking it's literally 7 a.m. and I can't get away from it. I'm like, okay, so clearly I just can't even check social media casually at 7 a.m. on Friday because all this stuff happens. And then it's the memes, you guys. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of Baby Yoda. And I know I'm going to get beaten for this. But I did love Baby Yoda. I loved him. And then the internet happened.
It's like
now I'm sick of Baby Yoda.
And I knew it was coming, that it was going to be just too much for all of us because, because he is so fucking cute. I mean, watching the show, I can't help but just I mean, he made the, what's-his-face, the main actor who plays the Mandalorian, he legitimately cried on set. Like Favreau talked about, it brought him to tears, just the puppet, because it was so fucking cute. Ugh.
So we have Jarrett Reynolds joining us on YouTube, and he says, if we get another Star Wars trilogy, I want Jon Favreau to direct it all, which I 100% agree with.
I 1,000% agree with. I believe he is what's going to save this franchise.
And then Shavin Ross says, Baby Yoda can't be the entire show. I think by episode 6 or 7, they will change things. All right.
I agree because so this movie takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, 20 years before The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a reason that I've started nicknaming him Yiddle. A bunch of people have because he's not Yoda. Blah, blah, blah.
But even the creators of the show are like, yeah, we're okay with you calling it Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
we don't have a name for it.
It's fine. I just nickname him Yiddle. Anyways, Baby Yoda isn't a part of this newest saga, so something has had to happen. But it's funny, there's this other meme that I saw. I was like, man, if this shit was on HBO, that baby's gonna die.
That's also accurate.
Yeah, but it's it's Disney, so he should be all right. He should be okay.
It's part of a larger thing, though. First of all, it's just a device, obviously, that they're using to get him away, to become the Mandalorian that, is
everybody's
chasing
chasing. Yeah.
It's a plot device, but also a really cute one. And really cute one. But also, it's got to go somewhere. It can't just be him going on adventures with his little baby.
I mean, it's funny. I do compare this show very much to Lone Wolf and Cub manga, which maybe 7% of you have read as well. But it does have that and what's great about this show being only once a week is it can do a serial style like this. Because we would probably murder this show if we had gotten it all in one binge. But they've written it correctly for a show that's And like some people's theory is that we're going each character from each episode that we really love is going to band together at the end, and I kind of hope that doesn't happen, because that's actually one of my bigger problems with Star Wars, especially the prequels. It's like everybody is involved with everybody for like 40 years. You're like, no, there's other people in this universe. There's other people than Skywalkers.
Right.
Like,
which is great because they're expanding the universe. I think it's wonderful, but also, you're never gonna make everybody happy all the time.
No. But I'm so like, I haven't had any problem. Like this last episode was a weak one, but I didn't dislike it from Mandalorian. Like this show is just so, the music gets me every time. It takes its time. It's very much a Western.
Okay, did you hear? Okay, so I watched yesterday's, and the music really stuck out to me because it was like this weird, like, wooden flute thing going on.
I love that wooden flute thing, whatever that is.
I know.
I don't know what instrument that is, like a clarinet? Like, I don't know.
I'm listening to it, and it just sounds so, like, different. And so I'm sitting there, like, it really stands out. And I don't hate it by any means, but I was just like, this is weird. Mm-hmm. Like, but it was great.
I love it.
Really,
I love it.
I was like, just like, who thought of this? Who's chose? I mean, obviously the composer, but still.
It's great because and it really feeds into the John Williams thing of everybody has a theme song. Because like obviously like when it hits that certain point, it gets that and you're like, yeah, let's go. Like, we're moving.
It's super Star Warsy though, which is also like kind of.
Sorry, so Brandon Allen just said, so Baby Yoda's last name is MacGuffin. Well played, sir. Well played.
It's accurate.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm loving the show. That's why I was even more frustrated that anybody could find something as stupid to be wrong with the show. Like,
and honestly, I have to say, in regards to like what Shavin wrote on YouTube, with Disney's budget, I want to see a baby Wookiee. Honestly, I want a baby Wookiee.
Because everybody saw the fan art of the baby Jabba, right?
Yeah.
Let me show me the baby Wookiee. Because that's actually, somebody was mentioning that like
there's like fan art, by the way, of baby
everything now.
It's just like, I thought that's what like Chibi was for. Like, didn't we already go through this phase?
Did we do this? Did we do this already?
We already did this.
But what's so interesting, I don't know, if, like for me, because there's obviously all this merchandise coming out for Baby Yoda because everybody like it's going fucking bananas for it, but nobody quite gets it right. Like it's always just a little bit off. I'm like, are you guys not watching the show? Because like the ears are a little bit bigger, or the like something, like they always get it just a little bit wrong, and you're like, but
I just wish everybody would just enjoy Baby Yoda for what it is, and like not be like, oh, but I liked it better when it was Gizmo, like and they like have to do the comparison, and it's just like, oh, you think you're so clever,
That's basically the internet. Oh, you're so clever. Funny guy here. We got a funny guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, oh, the interwebs.
I get so ragey when I'm on the internet, by the way, and I sit there and I make faces at my phone, and like at work I'm just like and it's just ridiculous, and I don't even know why I go on it anymore. To be honest.
It's so good though. It's so much fun to get that much rage. And like there's the other articles that I love that where it's just like Star Wars fans hate the Last Jedi and they don't know why.
It's just like clickbait.
Just like
such clickbait.
Just like everybody's enraged.
And Jarrett says that he's ready to see some Jedi versus Sith action in The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So there's some really fun theories around this because like technically we can have so many people in this show. It's just the in between, because God, those prequels really missed the mark when it came to finally seeing like Darth Vader being badass. That's why everybody loves the Rogue One. Like if that one scene wasn't in there, that movie would have been so depressing. Like if it just ended and you're like, oh, okay. But did you know it was actually the editor's idea to do that scene?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so to do the scene.
Well done.
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
we needed
that one.
to see Darth Vader kicking some ass. Like I love the fact that we're
that was
all
the best
like,
scene in the movie.
We're just like everybody was like cheering in the theater, just like yeah.
Okay, now Jared said, do you think the ending of Episode 4 was a Jedi? The one that was aiming to kill. No, wait. What?
Wait, what?
At the end.
Read that again.
Do you think the ending of Episode 4 was a Jedi? And I'm assuming
you mean Episode 5, this last episode, the person that comes to pick up the bounty?
Oh, spoilers.
No, it's still, and I didn't spoil. There's bounties, obviously. And I didn't say which bounty. Ah! I'm bad at not spoiling.
She's horrible.
There's another theory, and I don't want to discuss it right now because it would be such an aggressive spoiler. But
Now we're gonna have to put a spoiler thing on this.
yeah, just
in
like
this episode. It's
yeah.
fine.
Whereas I still have that piece of
Alright.
paper that we made like a year ago, like spoilers.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a Jedi. I think it's somebody else, and we can let's offline about it. Just kidding. Oh yeah, so Brandon Allen, he's right. We have seen a baby Wookiee
No,
in the Christmas
I
special.
was gonna say that, and then I was like, I'm not bringing up the Christmas
But
special.
what's so great is Favreau has actually written stuff into The Mandalorian referencing the holiday special, and I
not.
love it.
giving any airtime to that piece of shit. I'm just not.
It's so
So,
deliciously bad. I love it. All right, do we feel like we've discussed?
Yes.
All right, so let's move on to the trailers that dropped this week. Let's start with Mulan.
Okay.
I am super stoked.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite of the Disney princesses. The only one that really matters. Let's be fair.
And
also, she's actually killed more people than all the Disney villains combined, which I also love. Anyways, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that I think Mulan is the one Disney movie that might actually translate to a really good live
Yes.
action. The rest seemed kind of forced, and you were like, eh.
They just don't
And
know how to
it
do the
just-
musical element to
Yeah,
it. And I at
this
first
one,
yeah.
it's got the epic flavor of like a really good live action movie. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty
And
excited.
I don't know if I like the addition of a witch. I'm gonna be that's one of the first things I'm gonna say. I'm gonna put it out to the world. I can see why they did it because they're still adding some mysticism and some magic without having a tiny red dragon.
I would like the tiny.
I
red
would like the
dragon.
tiny red dragon.
I would like the Eddie Murphy tiny
Yes.
red dragon. to
And the
be
cricket.
released. Yes. I'm sorry, but that is something that I am sorely missing already.
Yes.
Even watching the show, I was waiting.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But there's a lot of interesting things that obviously they added. Like I said, they had the other side has a witch. There is the addition that it's actually two daughters. Now, my question to the internet is, and I probably should have looked this up beforehand, the story of Mulan, because Disney never really does completely original stuff. They always take from like the Brothers Grimm or Hans Christian Andersen for the fairy tales. So is Mulan a sort of fairy tale or story from China that Disney took, and that's why that we're having this, or are they just taking it and be like, we should add another daughter, we should add a witch, like.
I'm not sure. I'll be honest. I think it is definitely one of those typical tropes at this point where it's just like a girl who like lives in a man's world, and so she's got to pretend to be a boy in order
So
like, to
good.
get further. And blah, blah. But like honestly, I think they made enough adjustments to this movie where
Yeah.
it was like it's like a very loving father, and all he has is daughters. You know, and he just
Yeah.
wants to protect his daughters. Like that's it. It's not like nobody's misogynistic as far as I know.
Yeah.
I hear that it's not that way.
So I'm gonna call out my dad really quick. Sorry, Dad, but it's very adorable. So my dad has this thing of every single Disney movie. There's one scene that he cries, and if you know my dad, that doesn't seem like it's not like he's a tough guy, but you just wouldn't see him like that. And the one scene that always breaks him down in Mulan is after the family finds out that the father has to go, or a male has to go. And the father like tries on his armor and he tries to do the sword, but he falls. Like that gets my dad every time. So when it was in the trailer, I was like, "This is for your dad." I am a little miffed that she didn't cut her hair because that's one of my favorite scenes in the original.
Well, and Jared wants to know is, or is it Shabin? Yeah, if they're gonna stick to the cartoon and dress up as women in the end. Do we think they're gonna do that?
I don't think they're gonna do that.
I don't think they're gonna do it either.
Yeah, I don't
It'd be
think
nice
so.
if they
I would
did.
like that.
I would love it.
I would love it.
But
I don't think they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what it is, and I just thought of it. Why I don't really like the witch thing is because there's this thing in movies that I hate that they do that females can only fight females, and I feel like that's why they added the witch. Because you even see in it like that's one of the few people that like at least in the trailer. I'll probably have to watch it again. I just only watched it the one time, but I kind of feel like because they set it up that she's like that's the only person you physically see her directly fighting with is the other woman, and it's like
I don't know. Hopefully, there's some more badassery that happens
There-
between
I mean, it
those
looks
2 points.
gorgeous.
So, yeah, it does look gorgeous, and so I'm actually pretty super excited. I have not been excited. Aladdin sucked.
Oh.
All the rest sucked.
thank you, Brandon. So Mulan, like
Pocahontas.
was based on a true story.
Okay.
But I mean, if it's based on a true story as Pocahontas was, That's wildly different. So it's probably, yeah. So I'll be interested to look up the true story. So maybe they are bringing elements of the true story into Mulan.
Which, by the way, just to address a quick note of this discussion that's happening on YouTube. Okay, we're going to discuss the Crisis on Infinite Earths next week after everything is, well, after January 14th, I think. I think we'll discuss it consecutively as we go.
As it goes,
Yeah, because it starts tomorrow with 2 episodes, and then I think at the beginning of January it ends on those 2 episodes. So it's like Supergirl and Flash comes?
Yeah, I think it's Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, then League of...
Legends of Tomorrow.
Legend of Tomorrow.
Yeah. And so we are going to be discussing it.
Yeah.
So
I have caught up on Supernatural and Legacy. So those are the only CW shows I've caught up on, so I need to catch up on the rest. Faux show.
But now, switching from DC over to Marvel.
Yeah.
What about the Black
Widow trailer. So I only just watched it because I am slow to catch up on everything. But so when does this movie supposed to? I mean, I'm on board. I've always wanted a Black Widow movie, but when is this supposed to take place?
I thought it was like not. Well, if it's standalone, is it like her origin?
It should be, but she
it doesn't
mentions.
Look like it.
Yeah, she talks about. I mean, in the trailer, it seems like it's hinting to the fact, like it seems like it's like a break that she took, like at one point during the Marvel movie universe to like go and like deal with stuff at home.
Maybe
that's what it looks like.
But it's like not
hey,
her.
nerds, thumbs up.
It's not her sister. I thought it was like, you know, when she went through that academy.
Yeah.
The Assassin Academy. That's.
Oh, that has to be a TV show,
sister,
by the way.
Right? I know. The Assassin Academy.
All girls Assassins Academy.
Russian Assassin Academy. Yeah. Anyway.
I am so on board. Continue. It's like orange is the new black, or red is the new black.
All right.
That's what it should be called.
By the way, Jared, I just have to say this lady with the blue hair, sorry, I don't know your name, but you could definitely cosplay the Black Widow.
Why, thank you.
I think that's funny. And then he said Tony Stark gave her vacation time by Shavin. Yeah, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here's how I feel about the Black Widow trailer. Is I don't like what's his butt? Sheriff from Stranger Things.
Hopper. You don't like Hopper in there?
I don't. I think it looks like a super great action film that was going to be pretty badass, and then he comes in with like this comedy relief of being old and fat, and I'm just like, And then he tries on this like superhero outfit that's
still fits.
Yeah, that like still fits, and I'm just like, first of all, no one I've talked to knows who that's supposed to be, by the way. Are we missing some old Marvel character that's coming back that I'm not sure?
Yes,
okay,
that is true. But so Brandon nailed it. So it's post Civil War when they're on the run.
Fugitive. Okay.
But before she bleaches her hair.
Got it. Okay. We're not going to go back to that.
We're not going to mention that whole drama we had on YouTube.
Yeah, and Jared confirmed it. Widow takes place between Civil War and Infinity War. Okay.
All right, fair. Thank you. Yeah, because we didn't need an origin story. I would have actually. I'm glad they're not doing an origin story.
I'm glad too
because I
feel like
we got enough. Yeah, we got enough snippets, and I feel that like this is a problem that we're having with a lot of the American movies in any comic book hero whatever. Is that we keep going back to, well, we need the origin, and it's actually a little bit more interesting if you just jump into the story and then slowly hints to the past. Like if you see everything, it's not, you don't get character development.
You know, like they used to do in comics before everybody needed to know everything and be spoon-fed.
Frankly, I still don't want an origin story of Joker. I think it's a much more interesting character without a fucking origin. I'm just putting it out there.
Well, I also think
all the nerd rage at me.
No, the way they're doing it in DC though, where they have different origins of the Joker, where they tell different versions of like it could be this, or it could be this, or it could be this.
I do appreciate that as well because
like
that's.
I don't mind that.
Are they doing that on purpose, or are they pulling the Marvel like bullshit of like, this is how Xavier lost the use of his legs. Just kidding. This is how he lost the use of his legs. Just kidding. Like, he can use his legs when his brain powers aren't working. I'm like,
which one do you like best? Which one do you like best?
Get out of here with this bullshit. There's one way, and I have it in the comic books. Yeah, it's dumb. Just let it be and move on. Ugh. Anyways.
Oh my god.
And this is why we do this show. It's for fan breakdowns like that.
Okay. Okay, so...
Oh, very smart. So,
Red Guardian, the Russian Captain America. He fought Captain America when the Avengers went to Russia. Okay.
Yes. So yeah, he is a character that has existed, which I'm always I really appreciate whenever because there's just so many Marvel characters that people don't bring into these movies. Like they just keep going for the same old, and it's just like, you know, you could have like I mean that was even a problem that I had with one of the first X-Men movies is bringing in Toad. Like you have so many more villains.
Well, and here's
as
the
much
thing.
as I love Ray Park,
they're probably only going to get approval to do certain characters
that's
that
true.
aren't popular.
That's true.
And keep in mind, Iron Man was not a fan favorite or popular when they brought him in. And so and he was like, Favreau brought Iron Man to the forefront. It was like, let me do this. I can do this. And they're like, well, it's a character we really don't care much about. And no one really knows
Thank
him
you,
that
Favreau,
well.
for saving everything for us.
And so like he's this
Please save all of
alcoholic.
our nerd stuff.
Yeah, you're not gonna do well with this. And he was like, I'll show you.
You're like, I got this.
And
How great is it that Favreau is my favorite flavor of like a hardworking nerd, where like he's probably on cloud 10 right now, like doing all the Mandalorian stuff, and like he's like the Marvel like king right now. Like, good job, well deserved. I am gonna mention Brandon Allen mentioned a great.
See, he said Red Skull killed Red Guardian in the comics, shot him in the head.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I just rewatched the first Captain America movie with the Red Skull, and I love everything about the Captain America movies, but like the Red Skull, I was like. It's a little hard to take.
It's
like,
one of those things that there's just a certain point that it gets so cartoony, but you kind of it's that hard line of like, how do you make this accurate to the comic book without being too like.
I mean, it was
comedic.
accurate, and let's be honest. Like, I can't remember the actor.
Or just to work
Smith
on
from The Matrix, the actor who played him. He did a really good job, but I can understand why he didn't come back.
Your landlady, take out the garbage. Sorry. Every time I think of like Agent Smith, it's that one line. Take out the garbage.
He did actually a really good job, but I can see why he didn't want to come back for any game. Like, honestly, you know.
It was a scene. It was like CGI that shit. I'm not putting that makeup back on.
He was like, I feel ridiculous.
What's so sad about really briefly about the first Captain America movie is that was one of the first movies that I was like, don't tell me how much you like a movie, because it was way too overhyped to me. And I was actually told that it was the next like dark Christopher Nolan Batman, like it was perfect this second, and it was that's how it was described to me. So I walked in expecting that, and then it's a perfect, like to me, Captain America, the first one even, is perfect for exactly what it should be. It's the right flavor of campy because of it being like basically a 1950s movie. Yeah, like perfect. It's perfect for what it is. But like when it's presented to me as like the next Dark Knight,
that's messed up.
Like
who told you that? Who do I gotta beat up?
Oh, don't worry. We haven't spoken to him for a long time.
All right. All right.
Rhymes with Tenderson.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay. We're about to wrap up.
I know, sorry.
28.
God,
sorry.
we've missed you guys.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we were able to nerd out with you guys. I did find, we usually like to end on a positive note. I have to say Klaus on on Netflix.
Oh, no, Netflix?
Oh my god, it's so cute,
the animation,
guys.
Yeah. It's super cute. I cried like most of the way through it.
Yes. I thought it was one of my favorite, like...
It'll put you in the Christmas mood.
I know, it puts you in the Christmas mood, but not in the usual, like...
It's nice. It's a great story.
It's a great story, and the animation, the music is great.
I know.
Like, don't mess with the postman. And I was like, yeah.
It's very original, and I really like it.
Yeah, and then, just everything about it is really great. Frozen 2, that I 100% cried through.
I have not seen that
of
yet.
it.
I had to plow through last weekend, like Jojo Rabbit. I had to see The Irishman, and then I had to see, what was the other one? Oh, Knives Out, which, by the way, highly recommend. Knives Out is the most fun movie I've seen in a very, very long time. Also, Jojo Rabbit with Scarlett Johansson, also excellent. Weird, like, Taika Waititi, who plays Hitler in it, which is, like, funny, but it's also sad. It's like it gets everything. It hits every single emotion. So I highly recommend this.
I forgot to mention about the Black Widow thing. The Twitter just blew up about it, which was amazing because basically a bunch of like Asian actors and like activists started sharing it and calling it their calling the Black Widow their Black Panther because, oh, Josana-sama is the best actress in representing the Asian community. It's hilarious, guys. Look at it. It's so, like, they gave no fucks, and, like, it's quite, like, it's not as mean-spirited as it sounds. Like, it's actually quite funny.
All right.
But that was another, like, gold from that. But yes, I think you should see Frozen 2. It's
I absolutely will.
It's an actual movie. Like, the first movie is super fun and good music and everything, but it's a kid's movie, and, like, the third act is kind of weak and this, that, the other.
Sure.
This one is, like, damn, like,
I've heard
my
good things.
mom walked out and was like, they've done, like, a lot of stuff. Like, there was I don't think that's a kid's movie. And I'm like, I don't think that's a kid's movie either, if I'm being honest. It's really good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to go see it.
But guys, we love you.
That's it.
So good to see you. We're actually right after we finish today. We're gonna figure out our schedule for the holidays since we're both gonna be traveling and all that fun stuff. But
We'll probably pre-record though, so you won't miss
yeah,
us.
yeah. We'll miss you though. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for joining. We will see you again next week, and don't forget to keep raging on.
That's right. We'll see you next week.
All right, see you next week. Bye. Guys. Damn it.